The English monarchs who lived here in Greenwich ruled over a vast domain that at one time stretched from Europe to Africa and beyond. We travel now to one of their more distant former colonies, Australia. It was there that a pioneering spirit took hold, not unlike the Wild West. And today, Australians continue to be rugged individualists, as you'll see in our next story, a video miracle. Stock car racing is a sport that Lynton Connor usually looked forward to.
But that Sunday morning when we woke up, Lynton really didn't want to go at all. Sort of nearly had to talk him into going. Once we got there, we got into the flow of things. The sun started coming out.
My job that day was a volunteer, and I was helping out with the crash crew. The heat race was on its final lap, and a yellow light was turned on because a car had spun at the other end of the racetrack. Lynton appeared to slow. The other car hit him from the rear.
And in the next instant, he was engulfed in flames.
I thought it couldn't be flames, you know, it just seemed to be a small hit from another car. I sort of couldn't possibly think that it could catch on fire.
Not only was it on fire, but Lynton was trapped inside, struggling to undo his seatbelt.
Until we could get the flames out, we couldn't get Lynton out.
But the fire refused to cooperate, and Lynton continued to suffer the unbearable heat.
I was screaming at the top of my lungs, somebody get him out. I just lost my cool and couldn't see anybody doing anything.
We had a vehicle behind that actually moved the vehicle probably a little bit before some of the volunteers realised that that was sort of happening, and it nearly ran over one of the people. But it was all done in a split second to try to get the car away from the fuel that was dumped on the ground.
I couldn't even see that it was a car. It was just covered in black smoke and flames, and I just thought, well, he must be dead.
Picture yourself, a man sitting in a burning car, you're looking straight into his eyes, he got his hands up through the roof saying, get me out, get me out. That's what gets me. I see his face so many times.
But Ted kept risking his own safety to unfasten Lynton's belt.
I was crying while I was undoing his seatbelt. I was crying all the time I was doing it. I did, I got him out.
Lynton was alive, but badly burned.
And so I basically applied water and first aid to him, oxygen. We got all that set up and covered his burns with clean cloth. I had just completed a course in burns management, so I was really fresh in my mind. The first thing I had to do was cool his burns down, because while they're in that situation, they're still burning. They can burn for quite a long time, even though the direct source of the burn is gone. It was a relief to see him get out of the fire, but I really thought, you know, once he was at the hospital, you know, he'd be all right.
I didn't realise I was burnt as bad. I'd never ever visualised burns to be this severe. I wasn't aware of how bad it was. And I started to take my gloves off, and all of a sudden it just blew up. I could hear people screaming and yelling, but it didn't seem like anybody was doing anything. I realised that they weren't going to get the fire out and I wasn't going to get out. And I thought, well, it's all over.
Lynton was conscious for the whole thing, and it's just a miracle that he's alive.
For what he went through, I would say is absolutely amazing. He's had to battle really hard to get back to a normal existence.
Back in the first year, I would have thought there's no way he could do any of the things he's doing now. He's driving a truck just as well as he ever did before. It's just simply amazing, just through determination.
Words can't describe how I feel about the ones that put what they have into me being here. I'm glad to be alive. Glad to be here.